Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the top 10 damage dealers for Chimera. Who is it going to be? I did my top 10 list for supports yesterday. Make sure to go and check that out. Let's see, who are the best of the best? Who are the best champions you can build? Let's break it down. I only have 10 champions here. I'll be honest, I have like 9 clear top champions. Spot number 10 I was struggling for. It seems to me that most of the top keys are just using the same 9 damage dealers over and over again. But yeah, let's go. Well, listen, we looked number 1 spot and the number 2 spot have to go, in my opinion, to the damage dealers from the number 1 team in the world right now from week 1 that I have seen. Maybe by the time this video goes out, actually somebody's beaten it. But as of time of recording, I'm away for the weekend, so I'm recording early. The number 1, you've seen him right there, and his partner, I'm counting her as a damage champion as well. Number 1, I've gone the wrong way, Toshiro the Bloody. He has proven to be the number 1 damage dealer so far. And the crazy thing is, guys, Magic Affinity, number 1 damage dealer on the Force. Well, I can't see it. Shit. Never mind. Wait, I literally can't. It's the Force Affinity. You guys know. It's the Force Affinity Chimera. He's the wrong affinity. He's weak hitting loads in the different forms. That's bonkers. Toshiro, he is crazy good. Why is he so strong? Well, a big part of it, his damage scales off of attack and HP. And he stacks those up to 100%. It's nuts. He brings decreased defense and leech. He can put perfect veil on himself. It's crazy strong. Crazy strong. He gets turn meter. He does more damage. He just does insane damage. Plus brings debuffs that are, and the perfect veil buff as well, which are very helpful for completing trials. I don't know if people are using his second form. He's got decreased speed. He can heal people. I don't know. I don't know if people actually use this one. Maybe. But yeah, certainly he's absolutely nuts. Number 2, then I'm going to put Lady Mikage number 2. I am. She is effectively a damage dealer with Toshiro. She's giving him increased attack and crit damage, and the ally attack. Her A1 is calling him into attack. And not only does she pair well with Toshiro, but with 2 other particularly good champions I'm going to mention on this list. She also does have the utility of extending your buffs, decreasing your debuffs, and then decreasing enemy buffs and increasing their debuffs. So making everything way more consistent, which is really, really good. And yeah, you can also flip her to form 2. These moves do nothing useful against the Chimera. She can give you increased accuracy and weaken if you need those for trials as well, which is kind of nice. But yeah, the 2 of these together are the ultimate damage pairing. Without Lady Mikage, Toshiro's not as strong. Without Toshiro, she's not quite as strong either. But yeah, I'm putting them number 1 and 2. In the next few spots, we're going enemy max HP, guys. So number 1 enemy max HP damage dealer seems to be Marius right now. He's void, so he's got no affinity issues, and he's just slamming out the damage, right? You priority on his A2, and then you use the extra turn to cycle back to it. You get back to it very quickly. Increase accuracy and increase defense. Nice little bit of utility for your team as well. Yeah, he just slams out the damage, particularly if you've got 9-piece Slayer. He can ignore 30% defense, and he can potentially do extra damage. Alternatively, just 9-piece Merciless is crazy good as well. That seems to be the way to go with the Marius. So I'm putting him as number 1. Then I think the next 2 are very close together, and the next one after that is a question mark. So between Newt and Acrisia, I'm a little bit unsure. Newt has the advantage of this decreased defense, which is really good. You can decrease the boss's defense up to 30%. With a 6-star cruelty blessing, you can get it down to 20% reduction. This gives you an extra 10% reduction. That's very valuable, because that 10% extra defense reduction, that's just going to boost the damage of everybody else in your team, and that will add up over a fight. So that's pretty nice. He also brings weaken, decrease attack, and counterattack, which is cool. So yeah, Newt's pretty decent. Like, he's pretty good. I'm not sure who's better between him and Acrisia, though. Acrisia is crazy. She's void. So again, Newt will fall off on the magic affinity rotation. Acrisia will not. But she is a beast. Double hit enemy max HP. Double hit enemy max HP. Even her A1 is enemy max HP. And it can put decreased defense as well, which is kind of nice. Her passive will help her stay alive against AoE. One problem with the Crizia is she will kill herself very quickly against the Ram form. Like with a Marius or a Newt, you can turn off their enemy max HP if you're worried about them dying. A Crizia can't turn off her enemy max HP, so she will probably kill herself against the Ram form. But her damage potential against this boss is absolutely nuts. Newts. And then I'm actually putting him very high up this list, but I've seen very few people use him so far because he is the wrong affinity. But Wallmaster Atharion is going to be extremely good for this boss for a lot of players, okay? He has the double hit enemy max HP on a 3 turn, and then he can do the Marius trick of doing his extra turn and cycling back to this move quicker. So you priority 1 on this move and priority 2 on his extra turn and cycle through his stuff. Very useful. He also brings increased accuracy on himself, which is not, and increase attack, which do help you with a couple of trials. He brings block buffs and decrease attack. That's useful utility. He can fill his turn meter a bit. Unfortunately, his passive doesn't work against this boss, but I do think Atharion has sort of fallen a bit to the wayside because he's the wrong affinity, but he's got really nice utility in his kit for trials, and he will do very, very good damage. I think when the affinity swaps over. I haven't seen too much of him, but I'm rating him highly for this. Next up is a champion that's definitely been doing really well this rotation for sure, and that's Teox. Legate Teox, he is a monster. You come in, you stack up, you do his A2 like twice, stack him up to 50%, more increased attack, lovely, and then you can just spam his A1. If you pair him up with another damage dealer, not only will Teox hit really hard, but he'll bring them in, and again, you can very easily stack tons of debuffs on the Chimera, and you can be doing massive damage with those ally attacks, which is crazy. He can self-buff as well. If you need him to self-buff, he can do it. He can do it. And yeah, he gets some sort of nice stuff with his faction unit as well. Counter-attacking, which is pretty cool. Taking less damage, and allies take less damage. Pretty nice. So you can do some fun stuff with Teox. I think he's been pretty impressive. There's some lizard-focused teams built around him, which are doing really well. Then we've got the other 2 big combos at Lady Mikage, filling out spots 8 and 9. We've already filled up the list with good champions, just like that. 8 and 9. Harima comes in spot number 8. She does bring you decreased attack, which is decent. The big thing for me with Harima, again, she has that Newt style defense reduction, up to 30% reduced defense, which is cool. The rest of your utility is a bit lacking. Again, she also will. I don't know if I don't know if this passive is actually useful for this fight. But she will just do a lot of damage, and she's strong in this first rotation, which is Force. Ninja then is in number 9. Ninja brings in HP Burn. He also gives himself Perfect Veil, and he can put decreased defense. So a nice bit of utility there. But again, he is doing lots and lots of damage. Both of these champions can ramp up. For Harima, ramps up her defense. For Ninja, ramps up his attack and his crit damage a little bit. You pair them up with Lady Mikage, and they're going crazy. Toshiro is clearly the best option, but Ninja and Harima are both very good as well. And then, honestly, position number 10, we've got a big fall off after that. I mean, like, Michinaki is, like, not bad. I don't know. It's tough to find stuff. One champion I saw that I thought was kind of interesting, I think, is Turvold. Comes in as an interesting option, but I'll be honest, guys, I'm open to position number 10. Almost all of the top teams I looked at were using the first 9 damage dealers that I mentioned. Almost all of them. They're all using some combination of those. It was actually really hard to think of a 10th champion. I think Turvold stands out to me. He does self-buff, which is great with 30% crit rate. He hits really hard as well. This move absolutely claps, and he does more damage based on the number of buffs on him. And he also brings Weaken on his A1, which is kind of cool. That would be tough to get him with enough accuracy. What is interesting about him is just massive direct damage. A lot of the champions on this list top champions are scaling with enemy max HP, or they're the Mikage combos. Turvold does give you a way. There are some trials which require you to just do damage, but enemy max HP is excluded. He can help you do that, and the self buff is kind of cool as well. That can also help you with some trials. So he's definitely one that I think people forget about. Just a massive single target machine that could be kind of strong. I've seen literally nobody use like Little Miss Annie. I was kind of thinking maybe she'd be okay, but I don't know. But yeah, let me know. Let me know others Like Thor could be a nice honorable mention. He's more AoE focused, but he could be, good because he brings in the decrease speed and he self buffs as well. He could be handy for people to fit into teams as well as a good budget option. But let me know who you would suggest as spot number 10. I've suggested Turvold. That's definitely the question mark spot. I think the other 9 champions on this list are definitely looking to be extremely strong. Let's take a quick gander through the Chimera teams here. We'll see if we get any inspiration. You can see the top damage from my clan on Ultra Nightmare has been with Newt and Marius. The second team was with Marius and Acrisia. Now that will have got more points because they did do more trials. We've got a Teox coming in there with Harima. Really interesting. That did 10 trials. Very impressive. Again, we've got Newt Marius. We've got Newt Marius. We've got Marius Acrisia. We're seeing like the same stuff pretty much in every single fight. If we look at IPR, we've got Toshiro Mikage right there. Over here, we've got Newt Marius, and we've got double Teox. Interesting. Here we've got again Marius Acrisia, double Teox. So yeah, that's sort of what's going on. A lot, like I said, it's a lot of the same champs over and over. Here we got double Acrisia, right? Here we had Teox with a Toshiro. Cool. They're all in there. But yeah, let me know if you disagree with my top 10 or if you'd rearrange them. And thank you for watching. Hopefully that's interesting. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.